we're already live. Wow. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Let's see. We didn't give notice that we're coming on spur of the moment, so I'm not sure if anyone's coming, but if you are here, please say hello in the chat. We are happy to have you today. And I just thought it would be fun to do an all things the Three Bears Blondie and their spaghetti chat. So, how you doing, Melissa?
I am wonderful. It's been a fun last few days. I've been like attached to my phone and whatnot, but it's been a lot of fun trying to let everybody know what we're doing and what we're up to and spreading the word.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of luck. A lot of people are downloading the ebook, and even right before you and me just logged on here, I went on to several homeschool groups and shared about your new curriculum.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So, congratulations on the, what do I say, extreme, the amount of people that are seeing your book and getting it and getting to read to the kids.
No, it was
Okay.
exciting. It was like in three of my main categories, it ended up being like number one in Kindle downloads, and that was like a bear book, folklore, and gosh, I don't remember the other one, but we were so close to being in the top 100 Kindle downloads, but I think we missed the boat since today's the last day. But that's
Oh,
okay. It's just my book is in the hands of children, and that's the best.
yes. You send me a picture. I was just looking for it, but we'll have to find it for the next time and show everybody. So,
The fun part was writing the book and designing the book and reading it to children. The not
mhm.
so fun part is the darn marketing, because that's that's
Yeah. Well, you know that's the hardest for me too. I get nervous and embarrassed and I don't know.
I think the best thing is to be genuine,
Hmm.
and like true and tell people your why. Why
Yeah.
did you create this? Why are we doing these things? And
Hmm.
once they realize that your heart's not just about money and sales, it's truly you did this because you love the book, you love children, you
Yeah.
saw so many opportunities. And so I think if
Hmm.
we stick to being genuine and telling our why and our story, then we'll connect with the readers and schoolers.
Did I tell you that I hated reading when I was a kid?
You know what? We were both in that boat.
I, oh, I couldn't stand it. And I think that is why in my classroom, I love to teach reading, reading intervention, all of that, because I didn't have a good experience with it. It wasn't fun for me. It was a chore, you know? So I
Absolutely.
think getting kids to read and those of you that know, I'm a mom, my kids are a lot older, but I didn't read to my kids a lot. I was I was active duty right before having them, and then I just had a job. Like, I just had all the excuses. I just didn't know better. I didn't know the fun of it, reading to the kids. But when my son was in kindergarten, his teacher sent home a thing that said, read to your child every night. That's the homework. And I was like, okay. And, I follow the rules. So it said. And then I started enjoying it and bringing books home to read. And I was like, wow, this is fun. So,
That's funny. That's very similar. Like for me growing up, I remember being in middle school and hating to read. And
yeah.
they give it us assignment to read this chapter book. And my mother worked nights in like a nursing home, and she would actually read my homework into one of those old tape recorders. And then she would want me to, it was like the first Audible, right?
I was just gonna say
But
that.
I wouldn't even want to listen to her read it. But
Mhm.
like how times have changed. But
Yeah.
for me with my kids, it was kind of the same thing. I had Bailey, and the hospital actually sent us home with a little book, and it was called Read to Your Bunny 20 minutes a day, 20 minutes of fun. And so it's like the day she came home, we had her first little book there. And
Oh,
now I love that a lot of baby showers actually, instead of the cards, give books. Are you doing that?
yes. Yes. My daughter is doing that for her baby shower. I think it's a great idea. Cards, if you look at the cost of cards right now, and then the cost of some of the fun board books, they're about the same.
Yeah.
So why not get a book and write a little message and then they have it.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I love she's doing that. Yes.
Yes, I'm so excited too. Not to mention between her and Johnny, they've gotten all the books from my kindergarten classrooms, so they
Oh,
have quite the library.
nice. Love
So,
it.
okay, I have some fun little notes. I had like a whole beginning plan. Do you want to hear it? So this was all like some really cool wording, and I didn't even use it because I just got excited to chat with you today.
Aw.
But anyway, I thought this was a cute beginning. It says, "Hey there, teachers, parents, and homeschool heroes. Welcome back to the Teacher Kasie channel," which it's Teacher Kasie, where we mix creativity, learning, and just a sprinkle of spaghetti. Isn't that cute? So today we are diving into all things The Three Bears, Blondie, and Their Spaghetti by the amazing Melissa Burch. So this book has taken our lessons, our kitchens, and our hearts by storm. And guess what? We've got a special treat. So I have some fun questions for you today, Melissa.
Oh, fun. Let's do this.
So just before that, let's talk about how this book inspired not just me, but what I hope will soon be entire classrooms of learnings. So I've created multi-subject curriculum sets for ages 4 through 8, and we got our first sale the other day. Um, but we're just super excited and ready to get started on this new journey of curriculum making. And on Wednesday, we'll be releasing our ESL packet. So, Blondie, the Bears, and your spaghetti, it's all going international. So, anyway.
That's so well, thank you. I've already had so much fun getting to use your curriculum at home with my
Aw.
little girl. So Emsley's 4, she's about to turn 5 next month. And so I'll show you a little of her artwork. So she's done the
Oh, yeah.
puzzle and putting the numbers in order.
Mhm.
And she did so good. Like these are some things that like I didn't know she could do, and she did so awesome. But I love that she had her own idea of like, she's like, oh, mom, I want to glue it to paper. And then
Yeah.
she did some of the sequence and cards, and she wanted to make it into her own book. So yeah, she's been loving it. We're not done yet, but
Cute.
she's keeping busy. And so 2 thumbs up so far from Emsley. And that girl is honest. So
I love it. Oh, well, thanks for sharing that. I loved when you sent me the picture of her working. I'm like, oh.
aw.
Okay, so what inspired you? Now, I know this story, but some of our viewers might. So, what inspired you to make this story?
So that my grandfather was a published author. And so I always thought it was cool. And I remember one time as a child walking around the
Mhm.
library and being like, oh, this would be so cool to write a book. But then years later, you hear somebody say like one not negative comment about something, and it can just like, turn you away from an
Yeah.
idea. And they were like, oh, these days you have to be a celebrity or whatnot to have books. So I turned off that dream forever.
Oh,
And when all this self-publishing started coming up, I was like, huh, that's cool. But again, didn't think much about it. My cousin had done one and I was really excited for her. But I was putting Emsley to sleep and we had already did our bedtime stories for that night and the lights were off and I was rubbing her back and she asked me to tell her a story. So I told her Goldilocks.
hmm.
And then I was rubbing her back some more. She wasn't asleep yet. And then she said, "Will you tell me the story again?" I said, "No," because I was exhausted, right? I was like, "This time I'll tell you my own story." So then I made it up, of course, putting my own little spin and twist. And then she liked it. And I was like, huh, wasn't half bad, right? So, of course, after the next few weeks and whatnot, worked on it. And um, I got this book from her name's Evie Jones, and she talks you step by step how to self-publish a book. And I read that book like twice, and then I just went for it, super hyper focused.
Yeah.
Did
Love
it
it.
and found my illustrator and worked on it. It took about 6 months. But it's cool. It's actually at my kid's doctor's office. And the other day I went and just for my daughter's checkup, and this was my 2-year-old, and they had like 4 books in the waiting, or not in the waiting room, but when you're waiting for the doctor.
Yeah.
And she asked to read a book. And so I grabbed like the 3 or 4 and gave her a choice which one she wanted. She picked ours. So I was
Yeah.
like, so there we are in the doctor's office reading our book.
I mean, I love the colors and just looking at everything on this book. Why wouldn't you choose it? It's super cute. Although I do have a signed copy by the author, so
Oh,
yes. Do you remember when I got this from you?
of course I
Our
do.
first day meeting. I was like, oh, I've got to get your book.
That was fun. I know that was a little over a year ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was it really that long ago?
Yeah, because we just had that sale again. That was in
That's
March.
right.
So yeah.
Oh,
Hey, you've
I
done
love
a
it.
lot in a year.
Right? So now we have to know, are you more of a spaghetti person or are you more of a porridge person?
Okay, so definitely spaghetti,
Mhm.
but gluten-free version.
Okay.
So it's so funny, like in my house, I only cook gluten-free just because I need it. But my daughter went to a friend's house and it wasn't gluten-free, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, this is delicious!" Like she likes ours at home, but she hadn't had like real pasta in
Oh,
forever. She's like,
yeah.
"Oh my gosh!"
I love that she can try foods elsewhere and, have at it and
Not hurt mama's feelings that theirs was better. Yeah, but we had fun. When we had a big launch party, and I wish I knew you when we did that, but
Yeah.
as a family, we went to like every Italian restaurant in the area and tried the different, because we want to know who to hire. And we hired 2 different caterers, but for the spaghetti, and it was fun. But my family really enjoyed getting to try all that too. My husband's like, this is great homework or great research.
Right, it's good research, yeah. So are you going to write another food book so I can help you research the food?
We have 2 more books in the making right now, but neither of them are food related.
Man, no, just
Oh.
kidding.
And it's funny,
I
everybody's like, are they going to be other plays on other books? Nope, they're completely original. So
yeah,
I'm
there,
excited.
I've gotten to read one.
Oh,
Oh,
hopefully, I'm thinking spring to summer we'll have 2 more out. So fingers
wow.
crossed.
Yes, excellent work. Uh-oh, we've got puppy visitors.
Ooh, your puppies?
Yeah, and when I talk, if I get excited, then my pit bull gets excited. So sometimes she'll start talking. So I'll try not to make eye contact with her.
Now, just don't sound too excited. I know
Right?
it's been jokes that my dog gets super excited with my pitch and my voice. So maybe I'll try not to get too excited either. Your puppy will love
Right.
it.
All right. So I think this is a tricky question. So what if Blondie was a teacher, what kind of classroom do you think she would have?
Hmm,
Ah,
that is.
I
Well,
think Mama Bear would be a good teacher, but you have to read the book to find out why.
I like that Blondie ha, is so curious,
Definitely.
that she's creative. And so I think both, I think any teacher, if you're going to be a good teacher, you need to be creative and curious, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, curiosity is really just wanting to learn. And
Hmm.
so I think
Yeah.
she'd be a good teacher. She might
Yeah.
need to behave herself a little bit and learn a few things, not, but yeah, curiosity and creativity.
Be surrounded by some veteran teachers that can help her out.
Uh,
Super cute. So now, when I first picked up this book and I was going through it, one of my favorite things was a note for the grown-ups. You already know I just love that. I think it's the teacher in me. I can show this, right? Okay. So she has a note in here on like different things you can do using the book. And I just think that is an amazing idea. Instead of, okay, reading is very, very important, but engaging in the story in different ways and rereading stories, I always tell kids they can read the books by themselves, and they're like, well, I can't read, because I taught kindergarten, so some could and some couldn't. And I'd be like, you can read the pictures, or they can reread the story and tell it in their own words. So they can do a picture walk. You can change your voice and read it to your child again. Reread books that they've read 1,000 times. It's so important for them. So
And I think that's what makes a good book too, that one, if the parent enjoys it too, so that they'll not mind reading it over and over. But I think,
right?
you know, it is fun when like Emsley thinks that she can read just because she has it memorized, but it means
Yeah.
she likes it and she's enjoying it and she's engaged.
hmm Let's see. I had another. Oh, so here's another one for you. So everyone at home too, if you watch this, if you're watching now or the replay, I guess I should check the chat box. Hey, nostalgic pod blossom. Sorry I didn't see you here. Oh, hi, Bailey. Oh, Addie says hi too. Nostalgic pod blast is from hi from Atlanta. Hey, and hope your weekend was nice and that your week ahead is perfect. Thank you so much. So before I get to the next question, you had a great weekend too, right? The little story, right?
That, that was actually,
No.
we went near Atlanta. We went to the Stone Mountain to celebrate the Lunar New Year. That was a good time.
Oh, so neat.
Yeah. If you see all the decorations in my back, we have birthday,
Yeah.
but now we're celebrating we homeschool and we're doing a book study on Asia. So we decided to leave all
Yeah.
that up.
I love it. I lived in Japan, right, for 7 years.
No, I don't think was that when you were in the service?
I wasn't anymore, but we were affiliated with, yeah. So, and I teach students in China. So, this morning and tomorrow morning, they've been celebrating their New Year. So I'm trying to teach and hear all
Aw,
their fireworks and yeah.
that's great. That's it was a good time. It was a lot of fun.
Oh,
And
it
they got
looks,
to feed the lion a red envelope and they had the dragons and
yes,
they
they're lucky money.
they got to learn calligraphy. So they're doing it for 2 more weekends. So
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. I hadn't heard about it.
no.
Super fun. Well, thanks for coming. Nostalgic Pod Blast. I please, I am so sorry. I forgot your name again. I want to say Chance. Chase, I'm sorry. You're gonna have to tell me one more time. I'll work on it. I'm gonna have to leave myself a note. All right, Melissa, and those of you here live or watching the replay, I've got a question for you. Let's name a spaghetti topping that you think the bears would never ever eat. So I'll go first. I think they wouldn't eat chocolate syrup, but they might.
Okay.
What do you think?
I would say anchovies just because that seems just wrong. But
They
bears
like fish.
like fish. Like fish.
Uh-huh. So we got to think of something bears stay away from, but they're pretty adventurous. So,
Bears like honey, you know.
right?
That's we have that.
That's what I'm saying. It's a challenge. You're gonna have to put it in the chat box, guys. Let us know.
And what was your answer? Oh,
Chocolate syrup.
okay. Because
But I mean, if they get in picnic baskets, they're constantly eating everybody's sweets. So,
I mean, I would think a bear may go for anything. I know when I talk to mamas though, they use they'll like blend up or puree broccoli and hide it in spaghetti sauce to make it
uh-huh.
more nutritious. Okay.
What's
Um,
your favorite topping?
well, our house we had cheese, so lots of Parmesan. Um,
Hmm
and we've even I'll put the garlic bread down and then top it on top, the spaghetti on top and then the Parmesan. But something that was fun for the launch party was we had the spaghetti and then cheese and pepperoni.
Mm-hmm.
So I had never had pepperoni
Yeah,
on spaghetti prior to the launch party, but
I like truffle oil and
oh,
garlic.
huh, that's interesting.
I'll pretty much try anything. Uh,
Aw, that's
I'm
huge.
pretty. Yeah. What's that?
That's awesome.
Well, I definitely don't like everything,
Okay.
but
Good,
I will try everything.
good to know.
Oh, Bailey said pizza. Oh, you don't think the Bears would like pizza? Or was it pizza pasta type? Hmm. Bailey put pizza. Do you think she's thinking of a topping that the Bears wouldn't like?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe black olives. Who knows?
Oh, my husband hates all those.
Maybe we can go with black olives or black. I was gonna say black licorice. People don't like that either. So
Hmm.
I was right
I
away
like,
thinking, Elf from or
yeah.
Buddy the Elf. He puts maple syrup, but maple syrup may be a lot like honey, so maybe they would be okay with that.
Yeah, I agree. Right,
See, now you're being like Blondie, being curious and creative.
I am very curious. I ask what even when I was in basic training, they told me I asked too many questions. So like I am full of questions always. Oh, maybe that's why I'm a teacher. I just want to like learn all the time. I don't know.
Maybe you're the original Blondie.
Eh. Oh, that's funny. All right, let me get back to my note. I think we've pretty much hit all of the fun things I wanted to ask you today. I just thought it would be a fun little time to chat about your book since it just had its birthday. And did you do that on purpose? Because it was just recently your birthday too, right?
It was kind of the book was right about to come out, and I was trying to decide, do I do it now? Do I wait until spring? And I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna just release it on my birthday because it was like right around there, and that'd be easy to remember when. So it was a good timing.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, but
Super
yeah,
fun.
so I have a question for you.
Okay.
Was your favorite part of making the curriculum, or do you have a favorite page, or was there like an aha moment? You're like, that was a great idea.
Okay. I think the the best part for me is the differentiation. I like to do that challenge of trying to make it for different age groups. It's been one of the hardest parts, but I really like it. I love working with special education and things, so I think that's kind of my favorite. What I thought was going to be my favorite was the worksheets, and it was not my favorite part. So I really thought that was going to be a fun part, but it turns out that's quite a bit different to actually make them sit myself down to think about all the designs because I'm creative in some aspects, but I don't know if what's the word? Like, when you have a vision and some people can just go out and draw it and build it. For me, I'm like, oh, I can do this. And then I'm like, no, it's not turning out right. So differentiating was a lot more fun than I expected, which I knew I loved it, but I didn't think I was really going to go down that rabbit hole. Just like a little hint, we have made like 300 lesson plans off of off of this one book because I just kept going and trying to decide. Um, but the worksheets with it is definitely harder than I thought.
And that's the thing that's so fun. Like you just don't know until you do something, and then after you
Mhm.
do it, you learn, and then you can say, okay, next time I'm gonna go this way, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Well,
I mean, I enjoyed it.
I'm glad. Well, when you asked, I was, of course, humbled and thankful, and what you've done, you've blown me away. So I think
Oh, thanks.
parents and teachers will love it as well.
Oh, thank you. We guys, don't be afraid to get some no's too, because not only like have I asked because getting books to be able to read on my channel or things, it takes a very long time. So don't be afraid to keep asking and find the one person that you can really collaborate with and work with. Just go out there and keep asking. So,
And that's with everybody, and just even writing a book, right? Or like I never even tried to do the traditional way because it takes too long, and I liked having the control,
mhm.
of it. But just how many people want to write a book and they get so many no's, or even bookstores. I'm in a few bookstores, but then there's some that won't give me the time of day, so it's just like
Wow.
kind of you just roll with it. And, may not be your day, but keep trying and you'll get your yeses. And if you don't
Yeah.
ask, then it's definitely a no.
You'll find your tribe. That's what I always say, especially like teachers that are working online when they have to find their own students. I'm like, you'll find your tribe. Eventually, you will find the ones that want to stay with you because I teach totally different than another teacher. So I know I am not for everyone, you know, but you'll find your tribe. You'll find where you belong. So,
Love
yeah.
that.
I think that's it. Do you have anything else we should mention before we go?
Well, so my ebook is free today. Today's the last day. They give you like 4 or 5 days a quarter, and so today's our last day for the free ebook.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
the website is page32publishing.com, and on there
I need
you
it.
can find recipes, you can find color sheets. We have a whole tab for Teacher Kasie now with her curriculum.
I didn't expect that at all.
Aw. So you can
I
click on that and it'll bring you to either her like Etsy page or her teachers page. So wealth of information.
thank you. You said you were gonna add it. I just thought I was gonna have like a little circle spot somewhere, and I was just super excited. And then I saw it. I'm like,
Aw, I love
orgasmic.
it. Well, good. So yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
everything.
Thanks. All right, guys, if you have questions for us, please put them in the chat box below. If you have a question that I can't answer, I will reach out to Melissa and get that answer for you. I think that's it. Go go get the free ebook for just a little bit longer. Go get it. And that's it. Thanks for watching, everybody. And remember, learning is always better with a side of spaghetti. Bye, everybody. Bye, Melissa. Thank
Sure,
you.
I'll talk soon. Thanks.